Leadership, the action of leading that offers guidance, that offers direction, that offers authority. Hi, this is Clarity Coach Lucy, and this is Tuesday Talks at 3. Welcome to episode 3 of the Leading Self series. You see, this is a 4-part series, and we will be covering words that inspire you, steps to get more out of your day, tips for success, and goals checklist. In our last 2 episodes, we covered those first 2. We looked at action verbs that help us to get inspired, to get us out of this rut that we find ourselves in at times as we go on this journey of life. And whatever it is that rut means for you, you just feel stuck. You have this great New Year's resolution that you have put out for yourself, something that you believe that you are going to be able to achieve. You've set it out. You've put out your own, shall we say, action plans. And in your own best ability, you are looking at best practices. And with these best practices, you believe you've done your best, but then you're in a rut. That is what we were covering in episode 1, which was words that inspire. In episode 2, it was all about making the most of your day, or that 24-hour clock. At times you look at somebody else who you perceive to be successful or very organized or very put together, has more than 24 hours in a day. Well, we all know that this time is equal for everybody. And the most that we can do is to make the best out of the day. And making the best out of the day is what that episode 2 did. I was giving you tips, tested tips, things that I have done myself to get the most out of the day. And I actually shared that I'm a recovering procrastinator. And for those of you who know me, you wonder, how, Lucy? Yes, I am a recovering procrastinator. I am still work in progress. But the self-awareness that I am dealing with procrastination is what helps me, because I have certain steps that I'm able to just push and forge through, which really helped me. So those first 2 episodes are available on my YouTube channel, which is LMC Consultancy. You want to hop on there, and when you're there, you know what to do. Click the subscribe button, click the notification button, for heaven's sake, like it and share, so that you can get that opportunity to get other recordings or notifications of recordings as they come. But hey, that is what we are all about. We've got 2 more to go as we finish off on this Leading Self series. And today it's all about tips for success, and tips for success for you as a leader to thrive. But there's a twist to our session today. This episode is all about you as a leader leading yourself. You as a leader leading yourself. This is where the self-development of this Leading Self series comes in. You see, an important part of success in life is the ability to lead. So today we are just defining that, yes, we are leading others, but do we lead ourselves? Isn't that a question that we should be asking ourselves? Do we lead ourselves? Or scratch, how do we lead ourselves? So that's more of an open question, something that now invokes conversation. How do we lead ourselves? It is important for us to lead ourselves because we don't only have success in life by following others. It's not only that. There's also the way that we have to lead ourselves. So success is not simply, shall I say, achieved or acquired by following others and having the best practice. We need to apply some seriousness to ourselves so that we are leading ourselves. I'll take, for example, if you have an action plan right now, and you want that action plan to be executed in this week, in this day, or in this hour, you need to lead yourself. The guidance. That's what you need. You need to be able to give yourself direction. So I hope that kind of gives you a deeper understanding of why today I am concentrating on you leading yourself. So before we go any much further, I want you to think about the things that you need to do in the next 1 hour. Because you've got 30 minutes here with Tuesday Talks at 3. For the next 30 minutes, what is it that you want to do? And beyond that, what do you want to do until the top of the hour? Let's just keep it very close so that it is something that we can do here and now. And please feel free to share with me exactly what is emerging for you when you think about this and how it is that you can lead yourself. You see, being a good leader is more than simply being at the front or the forefront, or someone to be seen to be there and that you are the leader. And it is assumed that just like a train, you're the engine and everybody should follow you. A leader must act. I'll say that again. A leader must act. And that is a true test of leadership. Just talking about it or just putting plans down on paper will amount to nothing if you do not act. So today it's about you and how you're going to act, and I'm going to be able to help you. So you ask, how will I achieve this, Lucy? Well, today's episode, I seek to help you with tips on leading yourself. Tips that help you to move from just merely existing, ticking the boxes. I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. What is it that you have done? Yeah? To thriving in those things as they manifest and you thrive and you get that fulfillment from doing this, from leading yourself. So let us dive, without further much ado, we just dive into these tips of success. And the first tip is be alert. And just as you feel that feeling that is being invoked in you of being alert, just as you feel it, being alert in those 30 minutes that we spoke about or that I alluded to, just apply this word, alert. What am I talking about? You want to be alert to the opportunities. You want to be alert to your potential. You want to be alert to what is around you, the environment, and what it means for you. You want to have your antenna up, straight, tuned in, ready to receive. Always ready to receive it. And this is actually something that I was talking about in the other episodes. You want to jump in there and just listen to those episodes. How is it that you are ready to respond? When opportunity knocks and you're on the other side of the door, do you hear the knock? Because at times, the assumption is that you're so ready and you're so primed. But when opportunity is knocking, you're not alert enough to hear the knock, to recognize that it is an opportunity, to recognize the knock. Think about inventors for a moment, or think about thought leaders, or think about anybody who has achieved greatness, anybody that pops into your head, whether it's a sports person, whether it's a narrator, an actor, a thespian, whether it's a scientist, whether it is president, a CEO, whatever it is that it is for you that you perceive greatness to be. Think of that person and for a minute, put yourself in their shoes. What in your wildest thoughts do you think they did to get to this point? What in their wildest thoughts? These are things you need to be putting down intentionally, because that is what you need to apply to your life. Because that is your perception. Somebody else will have a different perception. I would have a different perception. But that is how you see it from the eye of your mind. It is your perception. And this is yours. You're allowed to have it. So take it as truth. Put it down. And when I say take it as truth, I'm asking you to be positive, not to be negative, to think of all the possibilities that were positive and things that were of pride. And when I talk about pride, I'm talking about things that somebody can be proud to speak of. List down those things. And when you list down those things, now start putting action to them. Now, some may simply say, and I know you're here, you may simply say that successful people are lucky people. They were in the right place at the right time. You may say successful people somebody, they were connected to somebody, and therefore they were given an opportunity right there on a plate, and they received it. Successful people come from a certain background, maybe very educated, or maybe backgrounds where there is wealth. You may say all that, maybe so. Maybe so, and maybe it's true, and you can actually reinforce that from the examples. But just listen to me for a minute when I say that if they hadn't opened their eyes to that opportunity, they could have just walked by. Opportunity can knock for anybody, anywhere. But if you don't recognize it as an opportunity, you can walk right past it. So when I say be alert, when you're being alert, it also has an element of you being prepared. What are you doing in the meantime today to be able to impact that last 30 minutes of this hour? What is it that you're gathering together? What is it that you're working on? Is it your mindset? Are you here to rewire your narrative? Is that what you're here for? Is it your inner peace? Perhaps you're sitting in a place of opportunities and you didn't carry a business card. So is it you're being ready is having a business card? Is you're being ready having already a typed out bio on your phone that if somebody says to you, tell me about yourself, you can send it to them immediately. Whatever it is, don't let the opportunity pass by you. Be alert and just get ready to apply. And then people will watch you and say you were just in the right place. You are lucky. You know better than that. You've put in the work. So my tip is strive to always be ready. Be alert, whatever it means for you. The second one is be inspired. And I know you may say, but Lucy, that's normal. We have to be inspired if we're moving on. Well, accept inspiration. And this is the twist. Accept inspiration from wherever it comes, even if it's from your opponent, somebody that you're in competition with, somebody that you perceive is a threat to your mere existence. If you're in business and you feel that this particular business has come up and I'm going to be wiped clean, accept inspiration, seek it intentionally. You see, the wisest leaders, they constantly study their competition, and this used to drive me crazy when I was in the corporate world. There was always a competitors report, to the point where I thought that the owners or the board of directors were only interested in what was happening on the other side of the fence, that it was always greener there, and did not take a moment to appreciate what was within here. So there's a balance there, Constantly study your competitor. Think about politics, think about war, think about business, like I have said, in the corporate world. When you look at the research of how these businesses have made it in life, or how wars have been won, or how politics have been maneuvered, these examples of these research and reconnaissance are all things that you can actually take back with you and apply. You will find that they're looking at their competitors. I encourage you that in this particular environment, you want to be able to concentrate on finding the strength. Because it is human that when you're looking at your competitor, yes, there's a strength, but your human nature is to look at the negativity or to look at the weakness that your opponent has, so that you can go in and get them. Think about war. That is what you think of. This is the weakness. Or in politics, this is the weakness. But you want to be able to be aware of that weakness, and then ensure that as a leader of self, as you're leading yourself, make sure you avoid that pitfall. So if I'm looking at you as my competitor, maybe it's through gender, maybe it is through what we do, you're a fellow coach like me. If I am able to identify your weaknesses, then as a leader of self, I need to ensure that I'm going to avoid that pitfall. I am looking for your strengths. And when I'm looking at your strengths, so that I can strengthen my weaknesses, I can strengthen my strengths. And in this way, I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired by the things that you are doing. So whatever it is that you find, ooh, my tongue today seems to be quite heavy. Whatever it is that you find, be a wise leader of yourself and use it to inspire yourself. Don't use it to break yourself. Don't use it to demean yourself. Don't use it to hit out at somebody else. Use it to strengthen yourself, to inspire you. Number 3, learn. I've talked about this before. Learn something new and promote it in new ways every day. I've been talking about my TikTok, and I know by now you are sick and tired of it. Well, I do hope you've gone on to TikTok and followed me as at Clarity Coach Lucy, because in my TikTok there are so many things that every day I am learning. It is something I taught myself. I am self-taught, and I'm coming from an analog background. So teaching myself, I have to do it every day until it becomes a habit. My 21 days are over, so it is a habit. Every day I'm checking into my TikTok. But I am learning new ways every day that I'm teaching myself of how to make my experience even better. Just today, before I started this session, I recorded 30 seconds of me doing Tuesday Talks at 3, which I'm going to post on TikTok, only because I haven't figured out how to put in a recording more than 3 minutes. But guess what? It's every day that I'm attaching something new to my learning, and I absolutely love this space. Well, if you know the answer to that question, please just direct message me. I'd love to hear from you. So this means that you continuously seek to expand your horizons, your knowledge. Remember, whenever you have learned something new and you've expanded your mind to that level, it will not shrink unless you do not practice it, unless you do not use it. I learned German when I was in college, and now it has only been reduced to hello, goodbye, and asking for a few things. It is because I learned a language and I never used it. So I do know it is foolhardy that when you learn something and you don't use it, it doesn't help you. So you've wasted all that time and all that resource that you could have used on something else. So feed your mind with lessons and knowledge. Just learn. Seek out new people. In my past episodes, I talked about social interactions. And you know what? You never know what will come out of that social interaction. Apart from you learning something new, apart from you sharing what your knowledge is, you could actually get an opportunity. Remember, we talked about being alert. That opportunity that you need to be alert to. The potential opportunities are there. There are so many. They are dime a dozen, but we walk past them. Number 4, be curious. You know, when I think of curiosity, I think of a child. Have you watched how children, in the most beautiful way, hold something, look at it from every angle? It's as if they want to get different perspectives of this one same thing. Well, this is what you want to do for yourself. Be curious like a child. Take anything that you have before you and ask questions. For example, you love to read. So if you love to read, don't limit yourself to that. If you can sign up for a seminar on the topic of that book, or a seminar that the author themselves has put together, if you can find an environment where you can engage, therefore you can have an opportunity to ask questions, an opportunity to go into a debate, wow, isn't that amazing? That is something that is going to help you to just take your curiosity to another level, to learn more through curiosity. I'm encouraging you to think beyond the obvious. I'm encouraging you to think by way of asking questions, look below the surface, engage the curiosity of a child in whatever that it is that you do. And the outcome for you as a leader is that you're always going to want to know more. As a leader, you're going to thirst for it. And because you are thirsting and you're asking these questions, you're acquiring knowledge in a very off the beaten track way. When you lead your followers or lead yourself, you have solutions. You have different ways to look at the same thing. It's as if you have got a 360-degree approach to whatever you put your mind to. Number 5, improvise. You know, improvisation is the activity of making or doing something not planned beforehand. You know, using whatever it is that you have. Because there are times we find ourselves that we don't have anything. We don't have a solution available. There's nothing available for us to work with. So what do? Unfortunately, in some cases, people make this as an excuse or opportunity to quit on their game plan, on their New Year's resolution. So they don't lead themselves well. They opt to quit. They don't opt to take it as a learning experience and then just trying to figure out another way to do it. You see, necessity is the mother of invention. So when you get to a point where you find that you do not have a solution, improvise. So as you're leading yourself, bring yourself to that point that you realize, oops, there's no solution here. I hadn't thought about this. I wasn't ready for this, but it has presented itself. What do? Improvise. Look around. And when I say look around, it is within your immediate circle of friends or your environment. What is it that you can use here and now to be able to provide that solution? Remember, not all approaches have to come from the front. Problems can be solved from the side. Problems can come linear, lateral, horizontally, whatever it is. But you need to come up with a solution as a leader. So perhaps you've reached a point where you do not have resources anymore to do this one thing that you've already gained momentum on. You need to improvise and figure out a different way to be able to tame this animal so that you can keep moving. Talking about improvising or improvisation, I am reminded of a mother, a baby, and a kitchen store that is empty. A kitchen store that is lacking and that is bare. A mother, a baby, and a kitchen store that is lacking and bare. You know what? The mother will always find a way to feed this hungry child. The mother is going to improvise. So you can improvise too in whatever situation that you are in. This does not necessarily have to come out the way you want it to come out. So you've got to figure out what improvisation is and know how you're moving forward. Glad to see you there, Maria. Yes, always nice to tune in, Lucy. That I light you up. Thank you so much. Sending you hugs your way, Maria. And therefore, improvisation is one thing that we must take on as a leader of self and a leader of others. Number 6. Now, this word I love. I absolutely love this word. It means so much for me. Mindfulness. Mindfulness. When I think of mindfulness, so many emotions come up for me, and it gives me a lovely feeling. I feel good when I hear this word. So one way to be mindful is to make at least one person you care about happy every day. Choose, even right now, choose a person. Don't overthink it. Just choose the person because they've come to your mind. It's somebody you care about. Now, from today for the next 21 days, I want you to make them happy every day. Do one thing, just one thing to make them happy. Now, if you make it a point to do this, that thoughtful action of yours, that caring action of yours, very soon, this will become a behavior and it will become a habit, so to speak. And this habit will begin to spread on everything else that you do. Take my word for it. Just start with one person for the next 21 days. You won't even get to 21 days, and this thing will start catching on and gaining traction. You will start being mindful to other people because you started off with somebody that you care. Be mindful of your actions. Just imagine how much of a better world we would be living in if everybody did this. So making someone else happy is a tonic. So for you as a leader, it comes back to you. You end up having this feeling, like I'm saying, a lovely feeling, a feeling of fulfillment. And guess what? In everything that you do that day, you will be touching it and you will be having a mindful approach. Number 7 is compassion. That's another word that I absolutely love. Being in somebody else's shoes, trying to understand where they're coming from. Listening to understand as opposed to listening to respond. You are being compassionate. You know, it could be that you just want to give them something and they keep on moving. Maybe you are a boss in a company and you're the one who gives up the off days, or you give up the check, or you're the one who gives up the tasks, whatever it is, or the recognition. You want to go beyond that. You want to give of your time, of your energy, of yourself. You see, compassion inspires you guys. And so as a leader, this is one thing you have to learn, to be compassionate to yourself. Wear your own shoes. Be present to yourself. How can you love yourself daily? Pick out one thing that you will do for yourself and be compassionate to yourself through mindfulness. As a leader, you need to be inspired. Yeah, it is simply that science of when I am being compassionate about somebody else's situation, then we are all being compassionate about each other. It's as if it's a snowball effect. Compassion is so beautiful. Number 8, encourage. And I say accentuate the positive. And I don't mean about positive thinking. I am talking about your words. You see, you have to choose your thoughts carefully, because your thoughts become your words become your actions, and your actions become your habit. In fact, Indira Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, I beg your pardon, added on that your habits become your destiny. So it is all in your power. When you accentuate that positive, you are more likely to see a positive outcome. At times you come across this hopeless and helplessness that goes through our lives. We experience this. This is not unique to one person. We go through this. But never let negativity be your last thought on something. So you're not able to afford something that you need today that is a good resource to move you from where you are to your desired place. And you're helpless and you feel so hopeless. Let your last word be something positive to yourself, because then you're leading yourself. Don't let it be negative, because when it is negative, it is the last impression that you left. Remember, your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. And Mahatma Gandhi says your habits become your destiny. So you can rewire this. If you're having a challenge with that and you would like to be able to rewire the words, your habits, or your thoughts, you can always direct message me and I can book you on a discovery call and we can get talking. This can be done. You just need to be intentional. So as a leader, you need to guide yourself, you need to direct yourself, and you need to have a sense of authority over yourself. So if you follow these 8 action steps, you will be a better leader. And not only will you be a better leader, you will be able to understand the successes of life. In order to become good leaders ourselves, we need to concentrate on actions. I cannot say that enough times, rather than appearances. So think of these actions that you must take as daily things. So every day, do something. Use them as your tips for success. Well, the takeaways, I'm not going to leave you without takeaways today, so that you can be able to lead, guide yourself, so that you can be able to direct yourself and have authority over self. Always be ready to respond. Number 1, remember, you have to be alert. You have to improvise. You have to learn. You have to be curious. Number 2, be mindful of your actions. Remember, we talked about mindfulness and being compassionate. These are things that you have to apply. Last but not least, choose your thoughts carefully, because this ends up being your destiny. Look up Mahatma Gandhi and you will see what his quote says. And then look up how it is broken down and what it actually means, and see how that is going to help you. Well, the recording of this episode will be available on my YouTube channel by this evening. Like I say, and like I always say, remember, when you are there, hit the subscription button. Hit the notification button. And I want to hit 500 likes in this year. Help me to do that. Share, like, tell people about this YouTube channel. If it has helped you, comment. Share with us what you're taking away. Now, registration for the 2023 Personal Planning February cohort has got 1 week to go. Don't get left out. Statistics show that only 8% 8% of people achieve their New Year's resolutions. Well, you want to be part of those 8% people. You want to sign up for February cohort. Follow me on my social media handles and you will get the information. Thank you for following me on IG, on FB, and for following me on TikTok. Visit our website, www.lmcconsultancy.com, for updates on these talks. Let us help build each other, guys. Our next episode is on goals checklist. We're coming to the end of the month. Whatever goals you have set up, however these talks and episodes have helped you, whatever it is that it has done, it's time to check it out so that we know we are on the right track. So we will see you next week for goals checklist. Until then, be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye now.